Useless people versus useful people. Okay, become a more capable, useful person, and you won't have to worry because you'll be irreplaceable at that point. Okay, so people will rely on you, they'll give you responsibility, and you'll be able to get things done quickly. And when you can do that, nobody's going to bat an eye at you. Okay, they're not going to have to worry about you, and you're just going to be able to get things done. Next, love is based on how you feel about something, not what you know about it. It takes time to fall in love, okay? So in those moments where you're trying to get something done and you have to push towards something, you might have to find a way to love it. You might have to find a way to create that positive experience even if it sucks. Okay, love is not just about relationships and people. You can also love purpose and passion and responsibility. These are things that you can attach love to. And sometimes you just have to sit with that and you end up building love into it and the positive experience, and then it becomes enjoyable to do. Next, strictly do the minimum amount required to achieve the goal. So when you do something that's just enough, you begin to understand it on a much better level. You begin to remove all of the details and all of the things that you don't need to do, and then you can start to build up this structure for it. And once you have the structure for it, then you can start to work the details in. Next, find anything hard to do and then just do it, okay? And then do it 3 times back to back to back just to do something difficult. And so sometimes if you're bored or you need to find something to do, just do something hard. And when you do that, you're going to be more capable of going through hard things. You're going to remove that self-doubt. You're going to remove that when you shy away from the hard things to do, okay? And it's going to fortify yourself and fortify your mind when you're just doing hard stuff, okay? And then when you do it back to back 3 times, it's just proof to yourself that you are capable of going through hard stuff. Next, tell yourself that you've got 80% left in the tank. I'm okay. I'm fine. I've got 80% left in the tank, and then you can get the work done, okay? So always do this. If you're thinking thoughts in your head, you have 80% left, okay? Never allow yourself to be like, if you really had 40% left or less than that, you wouldn't be thinking. You would be so tired that you can't even keep moving, okay? You're so much more capable than you think you are. So always tell yourself, I've got 80% left in the tank, or otherwise I wouldn't even be thinking. Next, breathe into the feeling state and cognitively think about the feeling of your body and then keep going. And this is going to improve your performance. It's going to improve your brain, all right? If you breathe through your diaphragm, up through your diaphragm, your brain's going to activate better, your body's going to activate better, and what you're going to be able to do is so much more accurate, so much more precise because you're going to be able to feel all the movements in your body. Next, emotionally process stressful situations that require immediate action super quickly, okay? So we're going to get in those situations sometimes when something really bad just happened. Maybe a car accident happened, and there's going to be so much emotional pressure, so much emotional tension, and someone has to be able to persevere. Someone's got to be able to pick everything up and move the ball forward so that we can find a solution, so that we can get a result, or so that we can get something done, or even get someone to safety. So work through all those emotions super quickly. People compartmentalize or whatever. Just move through whatever it is super quick, and then you can take action much faster. Next, core is important for breathing, athletic ability, speaking. It supports your lungs, your ribs also, and it holds up your whole body. So keeping it strong is a universal boost to your ability, okay? So when we think about like a core, the core of your body, it holds everything up. It's like the center of your body. So you want to take care of the center of your body, okay? And this ties into universal improvements with your character. Find things that you can leverage. Find things that are so important to yourself, your character, that you use all the time in everything that you do, that you can leverage and you can make a universal improvement that's going to help you for your whole life. And you might have to maintain it, but I guarantee you, If it affects you every day, it's going to be worth it. Next, find the foundation of anything and just work on it a little bit. Find out what works or what to do, and you will automatically get 60% of the result. So if you need to go out and you need to do something, just do it one time, okay? And you'll figure out everything you need to know. You'll figure out the result of what it is, and if that was actually what you were looking for, and if you can use that and compound that in the future. And if you need to get better at it, at least you've done one repetition. You can figure out, what do I need to get better at? Or what do I need to learn more about, okay? It will give you some clarity on the situation. Next, you pick up subconscious habits from each thing that you do repetitively. If you only try to work hard, you will engrave the skill of a hard worker, okay? So make sure that you're repetitively doing the same things every day. If you want to wake up early every day, or you want to be on time to something every day, or you want to be a hard worker, make sure that you are always doing that, okay? And this goes back to everything that ties into your character. If you want to have a good character, if you want to be the kind of person who is strong, if you want to be like a superhero, you want to be like Superman, you want to be like someone who genuinely has that very strong, improved character, you're going to have to do things other people aren't willing to do. And most people aren't willing to work hard. Most people aren't willing to show up on time. Most people aren't willing to put in the work that it takes. Okay, and so if you do all of those build your character. Next, give life to me in a raw form. I don't want, substances. I don't want phones. I just want nature, and I want the progress of life. Okay, you want to live your life as fulfilling as possible. And so as we became adults, things got introduced, and it introduced this barrier between life and you. Okay, and so you don't want to have that barrier. You want to remove the barrier. You want to live life in its rawest form, because that's what's going to give you the happiest life that you can live. Okay? Next, when you get paid on your ability to work hard, have skill, or you get paid based on your ability to work hard, to have skill, and to take on risk. If you excel in all three positions of life, you will do well in life. Okay? So make sure that you're able to do those things. Make sure that you're able to build up your character in a way where you can work hard, where you do have skills, and where you do take on some sort of risk. Okay? Next, all it takes is 30 days of consistent action towards a goal. All you need is 30 days to create some sort of positive feedback loop. Because I guarantee you that you can't go through 30 days where you don't have some positive experience. Okay, so if you stay consistent with something like going to the gym for just 30 days, you're going to get that positive feedback loop, that positive experience, and you are going to get in shape, because you're going to not want to stop going. Next, the greatest performances come from a phase of being fearful at the start, and then persevering through that fear and becoming relaxed mid-performance. Okay? So, as this shows consistently, if a professional athlete goes out on the court and he is in fear, you can see it. It's demonstrated to them, and then they start to build themselves up. They start to build themselves through the performance. They will always have their best game when they do that. So if they walk out fearful while they need to perform, and then they start to build themselves up, build up the courage, build up the ability to play the game at the highest level, then they will do that almost every single time. Okay? So you use fear as a motivator for yourself. Okay? Next, strive to experience 100% of the life you want to live. The whole thing. And then you can relax and live in the moment. Okay? So we always want to be building. We always want to live the best life that we can. Okay? And when we do this, we get to a point where it's relaxing, where we've already built the thing that we've needed to get, the desires that we want, and now we can start to actually enjoy it. Okay? And maybe it's not the best idea to always build and never enjoy until you get there, but you want to be on that path consistently, and that should be 99% of your time. Next, make 5 rules to follow in activity each time you do something. Okay? So think to yourself, what are the 5 most important things here? And how can I remember them? How can I consciously think about them? And when you do that, you are going to have your mind in the right place. You're going to think about the right things, and that's going to allow you to accomplish the task as best as possible. Okay? So what are the top 5 things that you're thinking about when you're getting ready to do something? Next, to think about problems and calculate solutions, activate your brain with stimulation. Okay? And you want to measure how much stimulation this is here. Okay? So when you're thinking about something, your brain can go super quick. So you want to be very stimulated when you're doing that. Okay? And if you want to work on something relaxed for a long period of time, say 12 hours or more, then you want to minimize stimulation. You want that to be more relaxing, more calm, so that you can sit there and you can get focused and into that work or whatever it is that you're performing. Next, choose between showing and telling something. It is often that one route is better than the other, okay? And so you want to be in a situation where you are showing things most of the time, okay? Because that's going to be the best route, because that's going to provide proof, it's going to provide evidence that you are who you say you are without even having to say it, okay? But there's always going to be one route that's better than the other. So either show what you're doing or tell what you're doing, okay? Next. Tired is a feeling, not a fact. Do not let that feeling control you, okay? Never allow tired to control you, because it's just a little feeling. And you can sit there and you can persevere through tired. Tired is just a feeling. Don't let feelings determine how you're going to live your life. Do not let that pressure of a feeling or an emotion determine what you're going to do, because it's not a fact. It's not a fact of reality, and it is only in your head. And I want you to be able to pull the things out of your head and build the thoughts up that you need in order to be who you need to be.